Welcome to the Deep Dive. We plunge into fascinating stories, pulling insights from, well, all sorts of sources. Today, we're digging into James Hadley Chase. You know, the guy many in Europe call the king of thriller writers.
Yeah, quite a title.
You're ready for a deep dive into someone who sort of perfected the art of fake authenticity. It's quite the story.
It really is remarkable, isn't it? Because at the heart of Chase's whole career is this huge contradiction.
Right.
You have this quiet, reclusive British guy, a family man, never really spent proper time in America, yet he becomes this global name for writing really gritty American-style gangster thrillers.
Amazing.
And for this deep dive, yeah, we've got a mix of stuffed fan sites with incredible detail, academic papers, biographies. It's quite a range.
So the big question is, how did this quiet British man pull it off? Creating this world that felt so real but was, well, basically made up.
Exactly.
And how did that lead to, what, over 90 books?
Yep.
Films? A huge influence.
Yeah.
All while batting away plagiarism claims and controversy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's unpack this. The genius, maybe the sheer nerve, of James Hadley Chase.
Let's do it.
So let's start with the basics. The man himself, James Hadley Chase. Actually born Renee Lodge Brabazon Raymond.
Quite a name.
London, 1906. Died in Switzerland, 1985. And Chase wasn't his only pseudonym, was it?
Oh, no, not at all. He had a bunch of James L. Daugherty, Raymond Marshall, R. Raymond, Ambrose Grant.
You like to mix it up?
Seems like it. And his personal life, well, it's such a contrast to the books.
Right. Very quiet.
Totally. Devoted family man, married just once, had a son, lived this secluded life, mostly in France, then Switzerland.
A long way from the mean streets he wrote about.
Worlds away. And before writing, he did all sorts. Sold kids' encyclopedias, worked in a bookshop.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and was even an RAF squadron leader in World War II. Edited the RAF journal.
Wow. Quite the varied background.
It really highlights the leap, you know, the imaginative leap needed to create those violent worlds he became famous for.
So what kicked it all off? The thriller writing.
Well, the story goes he got really fascinated by U.S. Prohibition-era gangsters.
Okay.
Figures like Ma Barker, apparently. And he read James M. Cain's The Postman Always Rings Twice and was just blown away, inspired.
So that led to No Orchids for Miss Blandish, 1939.
That's the one, his big breakout. And get this, he claimed he wrote it in just 6 weekends.
6 weekends?
Serious. That's the claim. A brutal kidnapping story. Shocked Britain to its core, sold millions.
And there was a film, too, wasn't there? A controversial one?
Oh, yeah, 1948. Pretty salacious for the time, got a lot of criticism.
So he had this whole philosophy, this fake authenticity thing?
Exactly. He wasn't aiming for, high literature. He was pretty blunt about it.
What do you say?
His goal was just keeping the reader awake at night. Simple as that.
Uh-huh.
And he basically boiled his method down to 3 ruthless rules.
Okay, rule number 1. This is a fascinating bit for me. Research trumps experience.
The armchair American method, yeah.
He barely went to the U.S., right?
Yeah.
Just 2 quick trips.
That's it. Miami once, and another time just passing through on the way to Mexico. But he built these incredibly detailed American settings anyway.
Wow. Just books and maps.
Pretty much. Slang dictionaries. Apparently he got a load from an American Army buddy, Merrill Panet.
Okay.
Hollywood films for the dialogue, crime reports, maps, reference books on the U.S. underworld. He plotted intricate stuff, like a Miami heist, supposedly just using a road atlas.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Using an atlas for a heist plan.
It kind of forced him into this hyper-detailed fake authenticity, didn't it, being an outsider?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like entrusted, like the Fox, he apparently used the whole paranoia about WWII refugees to cover any gaps in his U.S. knowledge. Clever stuff.
And the jungle settings?
The vulture is a patient bird, yeah. Apparently pieced together from National Geographic clippings.
Wow.
Just clippings.
It really does make you wonder, doesn't it? How many writers do that now? Rely on deep research without actually being there? And does it matter?
It's a good question. Okay, so he's built his fake America. How does he keep you turning the pages? Rule 2. Pace like a freight train. His big thing was the rule of 3 for chapters.
Rule of 3?
Yeah, every chapter had to have an action beat, a twist, and a reveal. No exceptions.
Every single chapter.
That was the rule. Think about No Orchids, opening diner shootout, that's your action.
Okay.
Miss Blandish getting Stockholm Syndrome, that's the twist. Pretty shocking for 1939, that psychological angle.
Definitely. And the reveal.
Finding the Grissom Gang's nightclub hideout, boom, boom, boom.
So he was just ruthless with editing then. Cut anything that didn't fit.
Totally. No fat, just forward momentum, as someone put it. His sentences are pure punch, too, like that line from the Fast book.
Which one?
The bullet tore through his hat before he heard the shot. Pow!
Yeah, that's good. Short, sharp, immediate.
And connecting that to the bigger picture?
Yeah.
Well, that's why they're unputdownable, isn't it?
Right.
You see echoes in modern stuff. Gillian Flynn, Gone Girl, using those diary entries like bombshells to keep you hooked.
Yeah, good point. Similar relentless momentum.
Chase really understood that suspense isn't just action, it's that drip feed of twists and reveals. He sort of instinctively got reader psychology, way back then.
Okay, rule 3, violence.
Punch with violence as spectacle. Now, his early stuff was graphic, no doubt, but it wasn't just gore for gore's sake. It was often psychological, built tension, held up a mirror to human flaws, maybe?
Like the teeth thing in No Orchids.
Exactly. The femme fatale getting her teeth knocked out like piano keys. It's brutal, unforgettable imagery.
Or the start of I'll Bury My Dead, Corpse and the Vow.
I'll bury my own dead. Yeah, stark, bleak, sets the tone immediately.
It feels quite modern in a way.
You could definitely compare it to the kind of moral decay you see in shows like Breaking Bad, Walter White's journey.
Right, or True Detective.
Yeah.
That's Cole.
Exactly. That unflinching look at flawed, morally gray characters. Chase was doing that way ahead of the curve. These weren't heroes. They were just products of a dark world.
And his characters generally, they felt real, didn't they?
Yeah.
Even if they were extreme.
Yeah, someone described them as more real than true people. Because they were so consistent, they acted with this unbreakable logic.
Killers kill, drinkers drink, that sort of thing.
Pretty much. You knew what you were getting, which made them believable in their own way. But their past, their greed, always caught up with them.
Usually involving a dangerous woman, right?
Oh, absolutely. That was a staple. The one lethal woman, the treacherous femme fatale leading the protagonist down the path to ruin.
It's a classic noir trope, but he really leaned into it.
He did, and the plots often followed a pattern, too. Guy tries to get rich quick through crime.
Insurance scam, theft.
Right, and it always goes wrong, horribly wrong. Leads to murder, traps them in a cul-de-sac. No escape.
Did he have any recurring heroes? Or anti-heroes, I guess.
Yeah, Mark Gerland is probably the best known. Sort of an unrefined James Bond.
Unrefined how?
Well, erratic, maybe a bit rougher around the edges, but still ruthless, tough, charming, a playboy.
But he wins. Unlike the usual Chase protagonist.
Yeah, Gerland usually comes out on top, despite his vices. A bit different from the usual doomed leads.
Okay, so he's churning out these bestsellers, but it wasn't all smooth sailing. The controversies.
No, definitely not. Plagiarism accusations, court cases, they seem to follow him around.
Like the obscenity ban.
Yeah, Miss Callahan comes to grief in 41, banned. Even though some literary types like H.E. Bates apparently defended it.
And the Raymond Chandler thing?
Oh, yeah, that was a big one. Chandler successfully sued, claimed Chase lifted a whole section for Blonde's Requiem in 45.
Ouch. Did Chase admit it?
Had to issue a public apology, yeah. Not great for the reputation.
Any others?
There was another incident with a German author, Hans Helmut Kirst. He wrote The Night of the Generals. Chase threatened to sue him, claiming Kirst lifted a character from The Wary Transgressor, and Kirst actually acknowledged it.
Wow, so it went both ways sometimes.
Seems like it. It all feeds into that Mickey Spillane quote, doesn't it?
The one about him being a thief?
Yeah. He was a thief, but damn, he stole from the best. Kind of sums up the complicated legacy.
And it's ironic because No Orchids apparently outsold Faulkner's Sanctuary massively.
Tenfold, supposedly.
Even though people said No Orchids basically ripped off Sanctuary. Well, it's the Chase paradox again.
Absolutely. Who gets the credit? The innovator or the one who perfects the formula and sells millions? It's a tricky one.
So thinking about that legacy, what does it all mean now? His impact?
Well, I think a big part is creating those morally gray anti-heroes long before it was cool. That feels very relevant.
Like Vic Malloy?
Yeah, from You'll Be Alone in Your Grave. You can definitely see a line from him to Vic Mackey in The Shield. The name, the vibe, the cop operating way outside the rules.
Using dark methods for what he thinks is right.
Exactly. And Miss Blandish, her sort of psychological state that predates characters like Amy Dunn in Gone Girl by decades, exploring that dark female psychology.
Even George Orwell had thoughts, didn't he? He wasn't exactly a fan.
No. Orwell called No Orchids fascist in his essay Raffles and Miss Blandish. Criticized its amorality pretty harshly. But even he had to praise the writing. Called it Brilliant, wasted word-free prose.
High praise from a tough critic. Shows the power of the style itself.
Definitely. Even if you hated the content, you had to admire the craft.
And his popularity was huge, just not everywhere.
Right. Massive in France.
Right.
Over 30 film adaptations there. And Gallimard published all 90 titles in their Série Noire series.
Which is a huge deal in French publishing, right? The gold standard for crime fiction.
Absolutely. Big in the rest of Europe, too. Africa, Asia. Apparently outsold Agatha Christie in India and Africa in the 70s.
But not America, the place he wrote about.
Weirdly, no. Never really caught on in the U.S. market in the same way. Maybe too fake. Or maybe the real thing was just too available. But filmmakers loved him. Truffaut admired his cinematic economy. You can see why the books read like movies.
Fast cuts, sharp scenes.
Exactly. And he was disciplined, hammering out 5,000 words a day in his Swiss place.
Surrounded by maps and clippings.
Probably. And you can trace his methods forward. That detailed research, it feels like the groundwork for stuff like the interrogations in L.A. Noire or the deep dives in true crime podcasts like Serial.
Yeah, that need for specific, believable detail, even if the whole picture is constructed.
Right.
And didn't he write a comedy once? A real outlier?
Oh, yeah. Miss Shumway Waves a Wand. 1944. Apparently critics hated it. He disowned it.
Right.
But now it's this cult favorite precisely because it's so weird and different from his usual stuff. Wild tone shifts. A real curiosity.
So it always comes back to that paradox, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Genius, grifter, master craftsman.
It does, but you can't deny the formula worked, and it still feels relevant.
How so? For writers today?
Well, think about it. Research meticulously, like those slang dives. Maybe that leads to the kind of detail in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Okay.
Pace it relentlessly. Rule of 3 twists. Sounds a bit like Gone Girl, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
And punch with violence that's maybe more stylized but still impactful, like John Wick.
You can see the threads.
So maybe a final thought for you listening. Would Chase's Fake America work today? With Twitter fact-checkers jumping on every little inaccuracy.
Or would it actually thrive in our world of fast-paced, sensational info?
Exactly. And which modern thriller writers owe him the biggest debt? Is it for their anti-heroes, their plot twists, their violence? Something to chew on.
Ultimately, James Hadley Chase proved one thing. Maybe. Great thrillers aren't always about truth. Sometimes they're about the sheer audacity and skill to fake it brilliantly.
Well put.
If you want to dig deeper into all this, we've got a couple of good links for you. There's an academic paper on ResearchGate looking closely at his characterization. Really interesting stuff. And also a great review by David L. Vineyard over on the Mystery File website. Really unpacks his style and legacy.
Both worth checking out.
You'll find the links in our show notes. Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.
thou mayest, resonate with the challenges you face today. What might you choose to do with that powerful message?